what's going on. But let's throw it back up to Chris. We'll get the introduction for the next fight here at CageZilla 55.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the ring and fighting out of the red corner, it's CJ Goon.
CJ Goon, everybody, is 20 years old, 5'8". He is fighting at 155 pounds as an independent, Matty. Now, when you fight as an independent, I always think of there's a big bag hanging in your garage. You know, like you got one of the speed bags hanging in the corner with you and your dad.
Kevin, he's not with a gym. He's not affiliated with any gym. Yes, he's an independent, but again, when I was back there talking to CJ, he was incredibly confident. This is a guy that's making his debut here. He's actually in the Navy station in Jacksonville. He's roommates with A.J. Jones, who's on the card fighting later on tonight, originally from Maryland. You know, again, stationed in Jacksonville, and big shout out to everyone out here protecting our country. But this is his first fight, but he's pumped up for it.
Hey, any chance you get a chance to get out of Maryland to come to Florida, I would do it 100 out of 100 times. And look, those guys protecting our country, and then they come out and they want to do some extra, to come out and entertain these folks and show off. You know, look, these guys are just badass. You know, they're just awesome dudes.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, and you can see him there. He's ripped, he's shredded, he's confident, he's ready to go here, getting his first fight. Again, this is kickboxing, so we are going to see 3 2-minute rounds, and what an introduction Camacho gave us here to CageZilla 55.
Making his way to the ring and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Logan Rose.
Rose, 23 years of age. He's just 6 foot tall. He's a little bit taller. Tank head out of that gym at 155 pounds. Of course, this is the lightweight division, Matty. And when you see these guys come out, the first 3 fights, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, I thought I tuned into MMA. Why aren't these guys going to the ground? Why aren't they allowed to, get down on top of somebody and throw elbows?
It's coming.
And it's coming. But kickboxing, a totally different thing that we got going on.
Yeah, of course, it's kickboxing, and this is a straight
headgear,
kickboxing match. Yes,
yeah.
Headgear on amateur kickboxing matches.
Shin guards, just different.
We're getting to the MMA. MMA is going to be 4th event on the card. Again, 9 fights tonight. And yes, Logan Rose, tank head, out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He does have 1 fight underneath his belt, and that was an MMA fight. So this is his kickboxing debut here. He's been training for about 1 year and 3 months. Wants to get in, or wants to focus on kickboxing. Does Muay Thai as well, and again, he is 6 foot tall, same weight, 155
Ladies
here.
And gentlemen, this next bout will be a kickboxing bout in the CageZilla lightweight division. Starting out, fighting out of the ring corner, standing 5'8" and weighing in at 155 pounds. He's an independent fighter making his CageZilla debut. It's CJ Goon!
CJ with the red gloves, 20 years of age, 5'8", 155, independent.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 foot tall and weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of tank head, it's Logan Rose!
What an awesome name for a school, tank head. He's 23 years of age, Logan Rose is at 155 pounds.
This is a kickboxing bout at the CageZilla and the CageZilla lightweight division. It will be 3 2-minute rounds, and your referee is Alan Abeliz.
Again, Alan Abeliz is the referee for this. Is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds as we get the cage all squared up and ready to go. Of course, there's some stuff on the cage, on the mat from the last fight. And what happens is this mat gets a little bit slick, even though you got bare feet on, and we're trying to figure things out as both fighters come out and touch gloves right on top of the CageZilla logo. Things get a little slippery as the fights go on tonight.
Yeah, so Rose starts it off here and answering right back with Goon. Rose pushing the action here a little bit, but they're standing but here comes CJ Goon, and Goon in the clinch, lands a couple, blows to the body, backs up off. Ooh, nice check there by Rose.
Again, Rose will have the blue gloves on with the blue headgear. CJ has the red gloves on, little white and black headgear. Both fighters still toe-to-toe in the cage, and the cage being a little bit smaller doesn't let you run away as much. So as you start to see later on in this evening, you're not going to see guys that can get away from these guys. We've seen it before when you can run around this cage for 3 minutes if you're winning 2 other rounds. This is not happening here. This is the tiny bedroom in the house.
Looks like
Goon good right from CJ.
Yeah, CJ Goon landed a couple there. With that head movement, his chin's up though. Got to be careful. Right. CJ's got to get that chin down. You don't want to go chin up to your opponent. Rose takes that damage though, and it starts plodding forward here. Trying to inside kicks.
Yeah, a couple of good inside kicks here. Is Rose is trying to figure some things out here, and he's definitely got the reach on CJ is the little lefts and rights in there. Those aren't doing a whole lot of damage except trying to just measure out how far these guys are apart.
Scoring, though, and that is important here again. You have 3 2-minute rounds. Ooh, spinning kick there.
Heel kick.
Yeah,
Very
spinning
nice.
heel kick by Logan Rose, Chris, and both these guys standing here in the center.
I like it. I like it when somebody does something different because it sounds like the 4th of July. Ooh,
Right.
Everybody gets pumped up here in the crowd. Kind of a little silent now. You know, Camacho kicked things off. I felt like he brought his whole neighborhood out here tonight. So, you know, you got some guys and probably not a lot of people out here watching. Great kick from CJ.
He lands 2
to
in a
the
row.
left side of the face of Rose.
And then tries to take advantage of the damage caused here. As the round ends, like he wanted to take him down there for a second.
Wow.
Those MMA instincts kicked in for CJ Goon, but CJ Goon landing 2 consecutive kicks in a row to the head. Logan Rose, but Logan Rose ate both of those shots.
Yeah, he did. And Matty, maybe you can help me out here. If there's one, you know, CJ sitting on the bench and Rose is standing up. I mean, what's the trainer over here telling you? Hey, you know, stand up. Look like a man over here. Don't sit down.
I'd probably be looking, hey, man, you just got kicked in the head twice. I need you to look like you did not get damaged from those blows. You can see, let's look at this one. Just clips the jaw here on the left side and rolls his eyes back. And then he sees him. He's like, I'm going to try it again. Oh, we didn't get that second one, but.
And I thought he missed with the second one. If he connected, it was just a glancing blow.
Yeah, the other one really kind of caught him right on the chin in that headgear. I can tell you if the headgear wasn't on this, he'd have been lights out right there.
Absolutely.
And it still is going to make a difference, but here's what's going to happen in this round as both of these fighters come out here. First of all, we're going to get this thing cleaned up. A little timeout thing going on, but I can tell you that now we've measured some things up, and CJ looks really comfortable coming in here. He's just got to watch these rights and lefts, Matty, the distance and the reach for Rose.
Look, CJ Goon, this is his first fight, and for being his first fight, he was incredibly confident when I talked to him backstage. Now, Logan Rose, he has a fight underneath his belt. It was MMA. This is his kickboxing debut. But both of these fighters looked very aggressive, composed in there, but I thought that CJ Goon just landed the bigger shots.
Aviles will get the fights ready to go here. Cage is all locked up. Here we go. Start of round number 2, scheduled for 2 minutes.
And that's so you see Logan Rose come out and start right away with the leg kicks, and I was wondering why he abandoned that in the first round. It seemed like it was working for him.
Well, now with some aggression here for CJ Goon again. CJ Goon, though, with the head movement, now with the low kick, an inside low kick.
CJ seems like the stronger fighter, throwing different moves, giving a different look, trying to move side to side here. As you see him, and he comes right out and he tries to throw this flying kick and gets the crowd excited. I like both of those.
And Kevin, on the card it said he's an independent fighter.
No.
He's getting some training somewhere.
Well, we were talking about that. Maddie and I were talking about that because when somebody says independent to me, I feel like somebody's got a bag hanging from the garage,
Exactly.
you know, ready to roll in there.
Watching YouTube.
Dad's out there holding the bag. Come kick this, son. You know, but look, he's definitely done something, and if he is watching YouTube, I want the channel.
Another heel kick, and those MMA instincts here kicking in for CJ Goon. Rolls almost into a takedown, realizing, hey, this is a kickboxing match. And now Logan Rose again in the blue, CJ Goon in the red.
Both fighters still seem pretty fresh. Nothing too crazy here.
Well, for how many big shots CJ Goon has landed, Logan Rose does look pretty crisp in there.
Little jab by Rose. No damage done. It's the reach that Rose has. He just doesn't want to get caught. There he goes. Right hand. Left hand. Another right hand. Left hand.
He's got CJ Goon up against the fence. Goon fighting to get out of there now. Changes that position around. He has Logan
good
Rose
rights and lefts.
eating shots.
Oh, good rights and lefts again. Combinations from CJ.
As they go into the clinch, still has him up against the cage right now, and he's going to back up off of him, though. CJ Goon needs to keep pressing the action here with just 10 seconds left to go here in this round.
Look at Rose coming right back out. I'll take your best shots.
That was a great exchange, guys.
Yeah, that was a good round.
That's what we're used to seeing at CageZilla fights right there.
And you're going to see a lot more of that if these guys get comfortable, Matty, as you start to see some of these. Like, these guys are going to start to come in here in this third round and understand I do not want to leave this to the refs.
Who do you have right now? Obviously, CJ Goon landing the bigger shot so far. Logan, though, pressing the issue towards the end of that round. Might have stolen that one.
Nah, still both of them I got. But let me tell you, the amount of 15 years of doing this, as you see this flying kick to kick things off in the round number 2, as the amount of times boom, right there. as you do this, I've been wrong, Chris, about 100% of the time. So it doesn't matter. 15 years of calling these fights, and I have no clue what the judges see.
Oh, absolutely.
Every time I'm like, oh, that's definite win for this guy. It seems like somewhere, somehow, the other fighter comes away a winner. So I just sit over here and drink water.
About to get things kicked off here for round number 3. CageZilla 55. We're in our second kickboxing match of the night. Got one more to go here, Chris.
Matty, how do you have it scored?
Even with the
He was trying to pawn that off on me.
Even with the aggression of Logan Rose at the end of that round, I still have CJ Goon 2-1.
Okay.
Just missed as both fighters come right out here on the CageZilla logo. CJ will be wearing the red gloves, Rose in the blue gloves.
Rose refusing to give up that center of the ring as CJ Goon starts circling around him, circling away from that right, and that's the way you want to do it. You want to circle to the left. You want to go into the power hand of your opponent.
I love the way that CJ changes up his feet. Like he tries to get a little distraction, trying to moves a little bit, moves right to left and changes.
Now CJ has him pressed up, and Logan eats another one of those big overhand rights. He chases him, lands a kick to drop that guard, and here he comes pressing him up against the cage, lands another one. Another big right.
Both guys extremely strong here. Just taking each other's best shots.
Yeah, and CJ doing a great job of just walking through that reach advantage. Logan is not able to keep him at bay with that jab at all.
Well, and he's baiting him in, too, with that. His chin is real high up. Typically, you want to keep your chin down, but see with the headgear, a little bit different situation. But I just really like what we're seeing out of CJ Goon here, even though Logan Rose is landing some shots of his own.
I'd really like to see CJ Goon with those 4-ounce MMA gloves.
And it'll be fun. As Rose lands a couple of rights and lefts, that's 3 right there, the combination, left, right, left. CJ with a kick coming back in. Look, he's trying to get inside here, Matt. He's trying to work his way in. He knows the reach.
Well, they're just playing rock and sock and robots up against the cage, but CJ Goon still pressing the action here after Logan was trying to control the center of the cage, and now the referee is going to separate him.
Belez was very, very informative at the start of all of these kickboxing matches as he made his way over here, talking about what he was going to let happen and what he couldn't let happen. You know, we just don't see this a lot here at the MMA events. We let these 3 kickboxing fights come in this evening.
Chris, who do you have in this one?
So I was going to say, I thought that Logan might have pulled that second round out, but no matter what, he had to make it happen in that third round, and I don't think he did.
Yeah, no. I don't think he did either. I definitely agree that second round could have gone either way because of the punches landed towards the end of the round, but looks like it's going to be going to the judges' scorecards.
Well, I'm going right for CJ Goon, so that means that Rose is probably going to win this thing.
We'll see.
So, you know, as you both these fighters come in here, you try to encourage both of these guys, Matty. And look, not a lot of fights under the belts as you see these flying kicks here, rights and lefts in the instant replay, and boom, there's Rose coming in with a couple of hits. So, you know what? You're probably right. This is going to be too close. This is one you wouldn't want to leave up to the judges.
Absolutely. The thing is that Logan Rose, again, in the blue, he was landing shots on CJ Goon, even though CJ Goon was pressing him up against the cage and just throwing overhand right over after left hook and really pushing the action there. But Logan Rose was still landing some punches in those engagements.
Yeah, and they were clean punches. You know, you're watching you know, like headgear get, you know, rocked back and forth, and you start to see the eyes focus from CJ and Logan. You really couldn't see his eyes in there, but because of that chin being up and understanding, but they both are extremely strong fighters, and I wouldn't count either one of them out in this fight right now, to tell you the truth. After watching all the instant replays, they were all going to town.
Yeah, because when you're watching that in real time, what you're seeing is one man pressing the other man up against the cage and starting to land some shots. But when you look at that in slow motion on those replays, Logan Rose was throwing back. And yes, he did get rocked by those kicks to his jaw in round number 1. He was able to stay alive in there, and it was an admirable performance from Logan Rose.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Your winner by split decision, out of the red corner, CJ Goon.
Every once in a while, I get one right.
Well, you got that one right.
If you're watching live home on GoSports.com, it's CageZilla 55. from Revolution Live here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I can say that. That was real quick. I'm so used to saying the Commonwealth of Virginia. It was the first time we've made it down here. We'll be right back right after this. We got tons more fights to go here in Florida on CageZilla.